Hey, one of the most important things to pay attention to when you're trying to optimize your sonar and side imaging and down imaging performance is how your transducer is mounted on the boat and how that transducer is going to be oriented relative to the bottom when you're out in the water fishing. Now, not every boat is going to sit the same way when it's out in the water. For example, on an aluminum boat like this one, now this is a crestliner, aluminum boats like Lunds and crestliners tend to sit with the bow a little bit higher than the stern. And so if we have a transducer that is totally level to the ground when you're on the trailer, that doesn't necessarily mean that the transducer is going to be level to the bottom of the lake when you're out in the water. And so it's important to make sure that the transducer is level relative to the bottom when you're out using your boat. Now, other kinds of boats, like a fiberglass Lund, are going to sit differently in the water, not necessarily with the bow up and the stern down, but more flat. And so now, on a Humminbird side imaging transducer like we see on this fiberglass Lund, it might be easier to level that transducer while the boat's on the trailer, knowing that the boat is going to sit level on the water. Paying a little bit of attention to how your transducers are mounted is going to pay big dividends in terms of your sonar performance. And I'm Jason Helfand from The Technological Angler, and that's another valuable tip from Midwest Outdoors.
If you want to find fish, start out with a fast-moving presentation like trolling. Once you catch a few fish, put a waypoint in your GPS, and then come back after that fish, sit over the top, hover with your electric trolling motor, or anchor, give a vertical presentation like jigging, and you can stay right on top of them, give you a lot higher percentage and better odds of catching more fish. This is Ted Takasaki with Midwest Outdoors, Tip of the Week.
We're sitting at about 11 foot of water right now, throwing a jerkbait. Obviously, depending on where you are, jerkbait's always an effective technique in the spring. One thing I really want to point out is I've already identified, I've gotten a couple bites in that 5 to 7 foot range. And what's really important is when you throw that jerkbait out, once you get to that 5 to 7 foot range, you want to move it but not move it, okay? You want to keep it moving but not move it out the strike zone. So what you can do is just give it real soft twitches just like that. So stay in that strike zone, the fish are going to continue to see it, and you're going to get more bites because of that. So just pay attention to that next time you're getting some bites on a jerkbait and really focus on that depth range where you're getting those bites. And I'm Drew Sadler. This is another tip from Midwest Outdoors.
Closed captioning of Midwest Outdoors, sponsored by Midwest Outdoors Magazine, on your newsstand now, and the all-new MidwestOutdoors.com, loaded with video, articles, and TV episodes.